His cries still echoes in my ear. Joseph, begging from the pit. I couldn't sleep. I lost my sleep.
We did what we thought was right. Selling him was better than killing him. But did we only curse ourselves instead?
Enough! We survived. That's what matters.
Survival, but at what cost?
It's just another day in Egypt, or so they thought. Here comes the scroll from the king to the prison guard, prisoner to enter his court.
Joseph, the king wants to see you.
When the guard informs Joseph with a confused smile that the king wants to see him, Joseph, puzzled at that information, goes back to his deep thoughts about how he ended up in prison, now pondering why the king would summon him. But who is this man Joseph? Why would a king want him to be in front of him? What more could he be other than a prisoner, barely surviving in this life's journey? Until we know how he lived out his life, we cannot know. Where does this all start? Once he was just a baby who brought joy to his father. Although the father had 10 more sons, this one felt special to him. This was the son of his beloved wife, for whom he had worked hard for 14 years, and then waited many more for this special moment. The boy began growing in his loving father's embrace. He was a boy gifted with dreams. But little did he know, his father's love for him sprouted jealousy among his elder brothers. Even his dream, stars and shields bowing down at his feet, made his brothers push him into a pit. The brothers held on to their jealousy as long as they could, but it finally lashed out and unleashed on Joseph cruelty unspeakable. At that moment, the colorful robe Joseph wore looked more precious to Reuben's eyes than Joseph, his brother, himself.
Depths I call to you, Lord. Hear my cry, my desperate word. If you kept count of all my wrong, who could stand? Yet your mercy's strong. I will wait for you, my soul will rest in your word. My hope is blessed. More than the watchman waits for the light, I'll trust in your love through the darkest night.
The brothers plotted to kill him, but Judah suggested trading him. Simeon pointed out the Ishmaelites along the road. Judah went to them and cut the deal for a bag of gold. Into his hands came that small bag of gold, traded for his brother's life. Maybe they thought their little brother would be better off surviving somewhere in the world. The Ishmaelites sold him in a foreign land. He was now in a place where no one belonged to him, a world so different from his own. Joseph became a slave in the house of a wealthy Egyptian. But some once familiar presence helped Joseph cope, work diligently, and climb up the ranks in his master's house. Although he rose up from the pit, he was still a victim of uncontrollable situations around him.
Joseph, you are strong and handsome.
She, sly and cunning, tried her best to make Joseph stumble. Joseph's integrity to God carried him through the temptation. She grabbed his robe, but he chose integrity over everything.
Joseph, no one has to know. This can be our little secret.
Yet, he was still the victim of his own story. Potiphar's wife accused him of the assault he chose not to commit. The master felt betrayed by his trusted servant, and Joseph was pushed even lower into a much colder place, a prison.
He knows.
You know better than I. You know the way. I've let go the need to know why. For you know better than I.
In this cold and dark place, Joseph, with so many questions about what the future holds, remembers that one last conversation he had with his dear father.
Father, I'm going out to see my brothers.
Sit for a while, son. I have something to tell you. You remind me of your mother, my beloved wife. You have her eyes. I have served 14 years to win her. But ever since, the God has been with me. The Lord, the God of Abraham, your great-grandfather, and Isaac, your grandfather. I want you to put your trust in him. I was chased by my brother. I have slept with the rock as my pillow. I served honestly, but got deceived. In the midst of these, the blessings of the Lord have poured upon me. That Lord has protected me and made me who I am today. I still remember the day I wrestled him. Until dawn, he was there. He persisted.
Understood, Father. The God you serve will be my God.
Wherever you go, never forget the God you trust in and what He is capable of. He leads us to achieve things that no human has ever thought of. I have something for you. This is just for you. You are my special treasure.
Thank you, Father. This is so beautiful.
Now, walking out of prison, Joseph sees the light, but still wonders whether this will even last. Meanwhile, the king is deeply puzzled by dreams. Neither his wise men nor his counsel could be any help to him. At that desperate moment, the king of Egypt is introduced to this prisoner, Joseph, who was gifted with interpretation of dreams. Joseph was led into Pharaoh's courts. The ruler of Egypt himself looked at this Hebrew prisoner with weary eyes and broken dreams. No magician could answer him, no wise man could solve his riddle, and yet here stood Joseph. He did not cling to chains of yesterday. He only whispered what he had always known. It is not I, but God. He thus interpreted the dreams. At last, the unknown was revealed. The confusion was clarified, and bestowed upon this prisoner the rank of a governor over the land of Egypt. The ring slid onto his finger. The robe of authority rested on his shoulders, and then, one day, footsteps echoed. Joseph's brothers, weary and worn, now bowed low before the Egypt's governor. They did not know the man they knelt before, but Joseph knew them. His eyes saw not just men begging for food, but the face of the pit into which he was once left to die. Yet, Joseph did not conquer them with revenge. He did not conquer by proving them wrong. He conquered by forgiving. He conquered by embracing. He conquered by turning what was once meant to destroy him into the very thing that saved them. Thus, Joseph stands in stark contrast to his brothers. Unlike his brother Judah, who drowned in his own lust, Joseph conquered it. The pit, the prison, the palace, all of it could have easily destroyed him. Yet, Joseph was never a mere survivor. He was never just a victim. He was a man who held on to God when everything else fell apart. The pit, the prison, the palace, the circle is complete.
Father, he is alive, and he is more than a conqueror.